Hey, Joachim here. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of CodeSandbox and an introduction how we can actually create the website for Dig Live together in a collaborative way, right? So to me, this is a fairly new process. I don't think I've ever developed a website like that before. So it's going to be very interesting to see what we can do with these HTML5 templates and working together on creating the website. So to do this, let me share my screen here and show you, the first time you join CodeSandbox, you go to codesandbox.io. Here's the URL, right? And you'll see a blue button on the top right that says sign in with GitHub. So assuming you have your GitHub account set up and assuming I have added you to the CodeSandbox environment here, so that's an admin step I have to do. You would then be able to click on this, and it's going to log you into CodeSandbox as the new user. All right, you may have to refresh this screen if it doesn't show it to you directly, but now you see on the right side here is my GitHub account, and you're on the dashboard here. That's sort of the first screen you see if you go to codesandbox.io. From here, you can see under Dig Live, there's Team Overview, and then there's our sandboxes. So click on our sandboxes, and these are the shared sandboxes here for the development team. And obviously, the one we wanted to take a look at in this session is the Dig Live website. So click on this, double click on this, and open the sandbox editor. So this is kind of the working environment. This is the tool that we're going to use to edit the website, make changes, push it to staging, and also pushing it to production. So for this session, I just wanted to give you an overview of this editor tool and to show you the different features, the most important features that you might want to use when we develop the website. So the way you can see this is very much like CodeMD, like a markdown editor, right? So instead of markdown, you have in the center screen the markup. So here's your index.html page. So the raw HTML as an editor with these lines here, right, and with the color codes to distinguish the text a little bit better. That you will be able to see on the right side here with kind of a preview of the website. So all we wanted to do here is say I make a change in the code here, corporation as a service. I can do Control S and save this. It's an online editor, so that means all of the changes are saved on the server, and anybody else on the team will be able to access the same web page here. But we'll get to that in a second. But so if I just show you this here, I refresh that page, this little refresh thingy here, right? And now I can see the changes here on the website here. That's the development website. This is not the staging website. So the staging website will be another step. That's not part of this video yet, but I will talk about that later. So we're staying in the development environment, and you can see I made the changes here. Let me change that back here, save it, and refresh it, and it's gone, right? So talking a little bit about this CodeSandbox environment. So it's an online editor. That means if someone else is also on this website at the same time, it will automatically switch to a collaboration mode, and you can see a cursor appearing for the other person who is editing the same page or some of these other pages. So all of these pages here are on the left side in this Explorer thing. And you can see I'm selecting the index.html page, which will have most of the content of the website. But obviously, we will have other pages in the future. What I plan to do here is to keep the elements and generic.html pages there to copy-paste certain elements that we could use in other sections of the website. Right? It's kind of an inventory of reusable design elements that we can then copy paste into the index.html page. Then there's the images folder here, obviously with some of the images, the icons, and other elements that we're going to use on the website. Then there's the assets folder, which has the CSS file. So here's the main CSS file, the most important file here. Some font awesome stuff, other font definitions. Here's some JavaScript files that we need for the website for sort of the dynamic aspects of the website, like opening and closing the sidebar. And then there's some Sass stuff. So this is some pre-processing of CSS files. All of this is really not that important for the website development. I will take care of many of the changes here in the main.css file. You can see this, take a look if you're interested in, otherwise you can ignore the assets folder and also the images folder. So let's focus on the index.html page. Let's assume you made some changes here. You previewed the changes here on the previous screen. You can then go to the next step here, which is GitHub. So if you click on this GitHub button on the left side, again, it's going to prompt you to sign in. So I'm clicking the sign in button. And now I'm signed into the GitHub account. That's another admin step we have to take. So make sure you have the admin account set up for you on GitHub, on the Dig Live GitHub page. And then you'll be able to actually save your changes directly to the GitHub on digitallife/website is the target repository on GitHub. So let's assume I made some changes to the index.html file, HTML page, and what we would typically do is write a commit, right? So the commit will have one line of comment. So you want to say, why do you made that change, or what kind of particular change did you just do? So I can say added some exclamation marks, right? Just for this example, right? So edit those on the website, and I deemed them as important, and then I wanted to commit the changes. So write the comment here in this box, and then click on commit. So once you do this, it's going to connect to the GitHub site, and it will push the code automatically to the GitHub server. So now these two are fully in sync, right? So what we have on the GitHub side and what we have on the local side here, or on the CodeSandBox side, are now identical. And you can actually take a look at this. If you click on this link here, it's going to open up the GitHub site, and you can see that it will list the exact same folders here on that side. And you can see, like here, 27 seconds ago, here's the comment for changes on the index.html page. So this way we have a good way to actually versioning the whole stuff, making sure that all the changes are recorded, who did the change, and if something breaks, then we can always roll back to a previous version that's stored on GitHub. So it's a very safe and stable development environment that way. And then there's another step here that we don't use right now, which is deploying the website to staging and to production. So that's coming later, and we'll provide another button to actually make that change. So that's all. So just wanted to make sure you have that, you have access to this, and you can actually begin editing the index.html page. So anything you wanted to change here, go into the code, move things around, and see how that's being reflected on the website, right? So we'll take a look at our structure later and decide what goes out there and what makes the flow then particularly meaningful to a visitor of the website. One more thing here, there's these two buttons up here. You can split the pane and the editor into multiple panes. I would suggest to keep that. And here's the button to actually preview the website. You can turn that on and off. It's a toggle button, right? And if you want to preview it on a larger screen, that's what I would suggest, right? See, here's the menu button. If you actually right-click on this and then open this in a new tab, that is the easiest way to just preview this website on a larger screen. So now I've opened it up on this single tab here, right? So here's the website, And I can use the toggle button here. I can the search is not functional. A lot of these elements are obviously not functional yet, but you can preview this website and see how it looks like in the web browser on the code on the dev side, right? So this is not staging and this is not production yet, but that's a nice way also to quickly refresh this site and see how the change looks like, full screen versus in the small, sidebar browser here you see embedded in the editor. So I prefer to have two tabs open, right? So quickly go back and forth, make some changes in the code, and then go back to this screen to take a look how that looks like actually in the context, right? This button won't work here in the editor itself, so it's always good to just right-click, open it in a new tab, so you get the full functionality. For some reason, it doesn't pick it up automatically, but if you do open it up this way, then you get the full jQuery functionality. That's a part of the template that we're using for this development and for this project. Okay, I'll stop sharing here and hope you enjoy the development, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.